Well, guess what? Apparently other scoopers have confirmed that Ben Affleck was indeed on the set of The Flash in the first week of September. Go Batfleck! Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. First, we're going to talk about the Batman and possible sequel and spin-off. Then we're going to talk about Warner Brothers Discovery and the Snyderverse. And finally, let's talk about The Flash. Alright, let's talk about Matt Reeves' The Batman. Now, Matt Reeves' The Batman is not out yet, and we have yet to see the second trailer for the movie at DC Fandom. But we already got the first test screening reactions, and they're calling it like a horror movie? They've also already announced 2 spin-off series or movies on HBO Max, GCPD and The Penguin. Scoopers have said there's other spin-offs as well, such as Catwoman. Well, another one has been talked about today. Daniel RPK, the scooper in the industry, has revealed that they're going to make a Riddler spin-off with Paul Dano. Probably going to be another origin story for Paul Dano's character. Just like the Penguin spin-off, GCPD spin-off, and possibly the Catwoman spin-off as well. But not only that, Daniel RPK says that they've actually greenlit the Batman 2, which is not too surprising because there were talks that there were going to be a trilogy of movies. So yeah, I guess they are going to make a 2 and 3. A lot of times you don't hear about any of this until after the first movie comes out. But it looks like they're so confident in Matt Reeves' The Batman that they're definitely going to greenlight the second one already. And to add more to the excitement for the Batman sequel, Daniel RPK is saying that Mr. Freeze is hinted and teased at the end of the first movie so that he can be a major villain in the sequel movie. Now that is certainly very exciting because I can't wait to see them actually do a great Mr. Freeze this time around. I mean, by far the best Mr. Freeze I've seen is in the animated series. So this world is definitely expanding. They are making a franchise out of Matt Reeves' The Batman. Well, let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery. Now, there was a report from the Hollywood Reporter today that AT&T CEO, I wasn't pleased with where we stood before Warner Media merger plan. Now, I think once upon a time, they were thinking HBO Max was going to be this great streaming service like Netflix making original content. As the Warner Max dropped, it became just Warner Brothers making content for HBO Max. Now, there is a problem with that because if you remember the New York Times article with Walter Hamada, this is what that said. Hamada did mention that HBO Max is a major part of DC's future and that the streaming platform is being kept in mind as new projects are developed. With every movie that we're looking at now, we are thinking, what's the potential Max spinoff? Hamada said. So even at that time, Warner Brothers was kind of looking at HBO Max like something they could just throw riskier projects and other projects they don't want in the theaters and just drop it on HBO Max. It almost makes HBO Max look not so good compared to their priority, which is, making movies for the theaters. And that's why they had Warner Max to begin with, because Warner Max was supposed to be making original content, focusing on making movies and series just for HBO Max. But because Warner Brothers is involved in making content for HBO Max, they're prioritizing one thing over the other and effectively not putting enough resources into HBO Max and garnering more subscribers for HBO Max. And that's why John Stankey's not happy. And that's why he's spinning off the Warner Media aspect to Discovery, and that will be under the control of Discovery CEO David Zaslav. Well, this came out on the Hollywood Reporter today. Discovery CEO promises shock and awe streaming strategy after Warner Media merger closes. Discovery is preparing as much as possible for the planned merger with AT&T's Warner Media CEO David Zaslav said Tuesday, highlighting that its success will depend on a strong Warner Brothers, which is key to attracting the best talent and content and quickly rolling out the streaming strategy for the combined company. So in my mind, these words mean that he is going to essentially clean house. In every merger, there is going to be a little bit of house cleaning, if you will, but he is looking for the best talent. He's probably not very happy. They've lost a great director like, Christopher Nolan? And hopefully he knows a little bit about the Snyderverse and Zack Snyder as well. He has a lot on his plate, and maybe the Snyderverse is just a little bit of that chunk. But he has said multiple times that DC is an IP that is a priority as part of their brands. He's talked about talking to many people within the industry, within the company, maybe with directors such as David Ayer. David Ayer tweeted this out when Eric Weber said this: "Shocked Warner's let me on the lot today after yesterday's Dune tweet. Keep it on the down low though." And David Ayer surprisingly retweeted that and says, "They're actually really cool people." Now, despite Warner Brothers not releasing his Ayer cut Suicide Squad, and despite all the things that he said about what they've done to his Suicide Squad cut, he seems pretty optimistic and pretty happy to still be working at his home studio, which is Warner Brothers. But hoping this tweet means that they're turning a new leaf and trying to branch out to these other creators and, kind of reconnect that bridge, if you will. And I'm hoping that that's one of the things that David Zaslav has been doing. But David Zaslav does have a strategy already in place. While the go-to-market strategy for the merged company's streaming offerings has been decided, he said his team would only unveil it at a later point. But Zaslav promised a shock and awe global strategy when you look at the menu and diversity of content offered and a fast rollout to get to 200 million global subscribers within about 2 to 3 years, given the global reach of Netflix and Disney+. We will do it quickly once we close. When he closes, that is the middle of 2022. And I'm hoping, like all of us are, that the Snyderverse will be included in that plan. Like I said, it might be a small little chunk, but it could be a chunk that could make a difference in getting a little bit more subscribers than before. And what would shock and awe me would be the Snyderverse coming to HBO Max. I mean, David Zaslav seems like a person who likes money to me, and he seems like the kind of person that wants to really diversify his content. And I'm sure Warner Brothers and even Discovery may have already seen the numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League. It has topped a lot of Blu-ray sales, including this DCEU top 10 watch list where Zack Snyder's Justice League beat out Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, which was #1 for a while. So hoping this kind of trickles up to David Zaslav, where some people he's talked to, including, the main parts of the company, as part of the package. I think that's all what us Snyderverse fans want. We just want to be part of the package. We don't want to dominate the package, but have us be a part of it. Be a part of your plan. Because guess what? The Snyderverse includes the Justice League, which is, albeit the most important and biggest brand within the DC IP. Speaking of the Justice League, let's talk about The Flash. Now, Big Screen League said this: I heard The Flash is wrapping filming this week, most likely tomorrow. Now, I said that they've already shot Ben Affleck as Batman in the first week of September. Possibly Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman was there as well. Jason Momoa is already there, so, they could probably grab him off from the Aquaman set to do a few things. But Ajib Arts said this that was really interesting about the Justice League. Can I say that the entire JL cast was free to film anything during the month of June? Wait a minute, so is this in addition to the first week of September shoots? Could this possibly be that time where somebody on the set said that they already shot Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman, and they were there on the same set with The Flash? Is this what he's referring to? But someone in the comments referred to this piece of article that came out a while back in regards to Ray Fisher. Fisher discussed his role as Cyborg in the film with Muschietti that month, before Warner Brothers set a 2-week shoot for Fisher to film what was referred to as a cameo appearance alongside other Justice League actors. Alongside other Justice League actors. That kind of just went over our heads when that article came out. Now, obviously, Ray Fisher is probably not part of that team right now. Maybe there's a reshoot chance later on. But other Justice League actors. Now, obviously, this could be just Ben Affleck as Batman. But if that was the case, why didn't you just say Ben Affleck's Batman? Why would you put Justice League actors if that is the only other Justice League actors besides Ezra Miller's Flash? So to me, that just fuels the fire that the entire Justice League, minus Ray Fisher, for the Flash movie. And man, this would be awesome if we could see this right in the Flash movie. I know Ray Fisher's not there. Maybe before they finalize the post-production of The Flash, maybe something will happen and something works out and Ray Fisher comes back as Cyborg and Andy Muschietti just green screens him into the shot. I don't know. I'm just being very optimistic at this point.